What is up, lads, and welcome back to episode number 2 of my football manager journey with Newcastle United. And yeah, we're kicking it off. I'm going to show you my transfers, who I brought to the club and who's like left the club. So what I'll do is I'll sort of take you through who I signed and who I sort of let go. So yeah, guys, I spent 28.5 million and I sold players to the value of 14.25. But what I've kind of done on all of my transfers, not all of them, but most of them, I've done them on like 48-month deals where you pay like so much a month for 48 months. It's kind of a good trick to do if you haven't got much money, so you can sort of sign players when you haven't really got a budget. Because I think my actual transfer budget was like just under 3 million, so there's not much to really buy players. But obviously, if you use the 48-month trick, you can get players. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll show you the players I signed, and then I'll show you the ones I sold, and then I'll show you the fixtures. So yeah, guys, this is the first guy I signed. From Dynamo. He is a really good right back, or right wing back as well. He's called Simi Velasquez. I've completely failed on that, yeah, but look at this, sort of his main stats. He's got really good sort of physical stats, and he's only 19 as well. And he cost me, I'll tell you how much he cost me. He cost me 3.6 million, which is an absolute bargain when you look at his stats. And I think I actually sold Danny Simpson for 2.5 or 3 million, so it's pretty much a straight swap basically. And when you compare the stats, it's unbelievable. So I'll show you the next guy I signed. I signed Jan Vertonghen. You probably know who he is. He plays for Ajax. He's a really good Belgium centre back. If you look at some of his stats, they're just phenomenal. Really, 16 heading, 16 bravery, determination, 16. All of his stats are just high across the board. His worst sort of stat is penalty taken, which is not really important. I'll show you how much he signed for. I signed him for 8.5 million, which is it's not cheap, but it's not mega expensive. He's really consistent playing, and he actually scores quite a lot of goals. If you look at his career at Ajax, 6 goals, last season, which is pretty good. And yeah, so he's gonna start for me in defence. He's actually gonna start ahead of Stephen Taylor, but Stephen Taylor's kind of going to be used as kind of like a rotation between, like, if there's injuries, or you never know what happens in the season. Anything can happen. And the next guy I got was he's called Darnell Johnny. Completely failed in that, but yeah, from Herenveen, 2.5 million. He was a right back. Graham Carr sort of recommended him, and I had a look at him. I already decided my other right back, but I needed like a sort of a spare right back, or someone that can rotate. And his stats are actually really good. Look at his he's got some really tidy stats, and they're quite well rounded. And for he cost me 2.5 million, which is absolute bargain really. You can't really complain when you look at his stats. And yeah, he's going to probably be a good player for me, and I'm going to rotate the young Croatian and this lad. So yeah, he's going to be a decent enough player for me. The next guy I got was Lawson from the IFLsberg, 240,000, which was not much of an outlay there. He's 21. He's not got the greatest stats in the world. He's not the greatest player, but he's going to be a bit of a squad player, a bit of a rotation player. I looked at his positions, as you can see, sort of there. You can sort of play sort of on the right, on the left, and you can even play striker. So he's going to come in handy for like cup games. And if I get Europe next year, he'll be quite important as well, because he can sort of play a few different positions, and he's quite handy. And he cost me 240k, like I said, nothing much, but decent backup. And he's considering I sold some of the other backup players for a little bit more money. He's come in at less money, and he's only on 8.25k a week, which is not much really. So he's going to be a decent backup player. The next guy I got was kind of like a surprise signing really, because I needed a left-hand side midfielder, because in pre-season Demba Ba kept getting injured, and then I was playing him on the left, and I had Marvo as well, but I needed another body, and I was kind of getting a bit frustrated with Demba because he was getting a little bit injured and his fitness was a little bit poor. And I went out and I signed Nene, which was, I was kind of I don't know, I was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. I wasn't gonna sign him, and I wasn't planning on signing him. And yeah, I spent 5 million, which is quite cheap. He's obviously he's getting on a bit. He's 30, but if you look at his stats, they're phenomenal. And yeah, he's on 72k a week, which is quite a lot, for me. Kind of one of my top earners really. But if you look at his history for Paris Saint-Germain, 15 goals last season, which is pretty decent. And what I was kind of surprised that he's never actually played for Brazil, which I never knew before. To be honest, I thought he played for Brazil numerous times, but he's never been capped for for Brazil, which is kind of quite interesting. And yeah, he's going to be a starter for me. Looks, he's a decent player. All know who he is. Yeah, so that's Nene. And the next guy, I kind of went looking for some good young players, and I kind of raided Man United's youth team, and I signed this young Belgium sort of utility player, you would say. He's actually he's actually, that was a bit fail. He's actually a left back, and that's his main position. But you can sort of play, if you look at this positions, you can sort of play midfield, defensive midfield, left midfield. You can get yellow at right back. He only cost me 130,000, so I got him less than his value. So if I sold him tomorrow, I would sell him at a profit, and he's only on £600 a week, which is pretty much nothing. And I've actually set him out on loan straight away at Gateshead, and he's going to hopefully develop into a nice little player. The next guy I got for 325,000 from Man United as well was the Italian centre back called Michel Franzura. I really do fail at names, but you look at his stats, he's only 17 and he's got lots of promise. And I looked at his I've actually I'll show you my staff in a second, but I don't have John Carver anymore. McDermott believes he's got good potential, and if you look at his history, he's got pretty much no history. He used to play for Fiorentina, and he's hopefully going to be a good centre back in the future. And for 300,000, 325,000, you cannot really argue. You know what I mean? The next guy I got, he was actually offered to us from Liverpool, and I was kind of unsure whether to sign him, but I kind of went for it. He's 18 years old. Don't know if any Liverpool fans are watching this, or Man United fans, and sort of comment about the players I've signed. I'm not entirely sure who they are. I've never really seen them before, but yeah, he's Hungarian, sort of attacking midfielder, striker. He's not, he's got some not bad stats. He's not probably the sort of the most amazing player in the world, but he's going to be a fairly good player. And for 400,000, you can't really argue. He could be a decent backup player for me. And if I sold him tomorrow, I'd sell him at a profit. And he's only on £600 a week as well, which is ideal. And then the next guy I got was also from Man United, is for 350,000 was Davide Petruzzi. I think I've pronounced that right or wrong, I'm not entirely sure. But if you look at his stats, he's got 16 technique and 17 flair, so he's going to be, when he develops a little bit better, he's going to be quite a good attacking midfielder, a good playmaker. If you look at his positions, attacking midfield is his best position, but he can sort of play across the midfield. And he cost me 350,000, which is not much really, and he's only on 2.9k a week, which is not much. And he's hopefully going to develop into a nice little player. The next guy I got was this is kind of another signing which I didn't really like. I just kind of I done it without kind of realising. I went and bought Nathan Dyer from Swansea for 6 million, which is probably quite a lot. I probably paid slightly over the top, but if you look at his stats, he's got really, really good acceleration. His pace and acceleration is key. Good work rate, and he's going to be sort of a backup to Ben Arthur when I get Ben Arthur fit. But he starts at the moment, and he's done really well for me in the couple of games I've had him in pre-season. I look at his history. He's played quite a lot of games for Swansea. He doesn't really score many goals from his history, which is kind of slightly worried us, but in the pre-season for me, he played 2 games, 1 goal, and he's 7.4 rating, so hopefully he'll give you a bit of pace down the right hand side of the pitch, which is always good. And he's kind of a good English signing. And the next guy I went for was Callum McFadzean from Sheffield. He was from Sheffield United, I think. Sheffield United, 550k, which is an absolute bargain. I've also sent him out on loan to Gateshead, and he looks like a really, really good left-hand side midfielder or striker. He looks like he's going to develop into a good player. He's got good determination. So he's got he's a keen young lad, and he looks like he can fit the bill really. 17 years old. It didn't cost as much, and only 1.3k a week. So he's going to be a good player for me. And the next guy I got was Michael Keane. He looks like a really decent centre back. He's got some decent good stats for a young player. He only cost me 700k, which was quite a lot, for an 18-year-old. It's not, I probably paid slightly over the top, but he's hopefully going to develop into a good player, and I can make a profit on him. And the next guy I signed, this was kind of like a strange signing. He cost me 350k. He was a South African striker, which is kind of a little bit strange. But if you look at his stats, off the ball is quite good, and his acceleration's quite good. And I'm trying to sell Shola Amiobi, and he's kind of going to be my replacement for Amiobi, and he's hopefully going to use, just as a sub really, and as a backup player. He's on quite a lot of money, actually 27k a week, but he didn't cost much. And if I can offload Amiobi, but when you look at, I looked at his record, and it's really, obviously it's the South African Premier League, which is not the greatest league in the world, but if you look at his record, he scored goals at every single club he's been at pretty much, and hopefully he can sort of be a good squad player and a good rotation player, and also play on the right hand side in midfield, and he's only 26, so he's in the prime of his career. That's how much I spent, guys. I spent 28.5 million, which is quite a lot of money, and I'm probably putting the club in a little bit of debt. But this is kind of players that let go, or the ones that I sent out on loan. I'll not sort of show you their details and stuff, but I'll just go run through it quickly. Sammy Amiobi went on loan to Sheffield Wednesday. Peter Lovenkrands went to Wolves for £1 million. Steve Harper let him go to Southampton for 750k. Yin Moyo, the young French reserve for Newcastle, he went to Catania for 325k. I had the choice of him going to, I think it was a Premiership team or a Championship team, might be in Blackpool, for a little bit more money, but I accepted both of them, and he actually chose that one, which is kind of slightly annoying, but well. And Danny Simpson there, 2.5 million to Wolves. Rob Elliott went to Southampton for a loan fee of 10,000, I think with a view to a permanent deal. I could be wrong, I'm not entirely sure. Mike Williamson went to Southampton for a loan fee of 775k, which I was more than happy with, and I think there's a view to a permanent there. Also, I got rid of Thomas Kudar, 900k. He's out of contract, and he kind of wouldn't sign a new contract, so I just thought I'd get rid of him. This is the kind of one I was quite happy with. Bayern Munich, I put Jonas Gutierrez up for sale, and Bayern Munich offered us 5.5 million, which is, and he's 28 years old, he's on 50k a week, so he's actually a good player for me, but I just wanted to get a bit of money for him, freshen it up. He's obviously a good player, but Bayern offered his cash up front, and I wasn't going to turn it down. And also, I let Leon Best go to Reading, and these are some of the loans I've kind of let all my young players like JJ Hooper, Soderbergh, Donaldson, all of these lads here, all went on loan to various different clubs. Quite a lot of them Gateshead, because I think it's a feeder club. So yeah, guys, that's kind of the transfers I brought out, and I'll quickly show you this kid I was trying to get at where's it gone? There it is. This is a young striker, but I had ridiculously difficulties with work permits, and I just couldn't sign him, and I didn't have enough funds, and it was just an absolute nightmare. But he's going to be a really good player, and I'm hopefully going to sign him next season. And this guy here is an absolute monster. I agreed the fee, everything was agreed, and then I just could not get a work permit, so I just couldn't sign him. But if you look at his not his history, if you look at his stats, he's just, for a 21-year-old defensive midfielder, it's just ridiculous. 6 foot, I think he's 6'4", and I really wanted to sign him. I think he's got 5-star potential as well. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, just couldn't sign him, which was slightly frustrating. But that's the way it goes sometimes. And another, who's this fella? This is a fella I tried to sign, but it kind of didn't work out. I don't know what entirely happened, but yeah. The next guy is actually Sigurdsson. I've actually signed him, but he doesn't join until the 1st of July 2012, so that's like next season, which is slightly annoying. I signed him for 11 million, but I kind of wanted him straight away, but I kind of forgot he's on your loan at Swansea. And yeah, if you look at his stats, he develops into a great player, and yeah, so I've got him sort of tied up, which is kind of good, and he's kind of going to get some experience at Swansea, which is good. But yeah, I'm going to kind of miss him. He would have been good for me, but obviously he'll have to join us next season. And yeah, what I'll do now is I'll show you my my staff, because basically I've signed quite a few scouts and a few other physios, but the main sort of the guy that went and the guy that came in, I let go of John Carver. His vice was terrible, and I just wasn't liking him. And I went and got a Terry McDermott, who's absolute. If you don't know who Terry McDermott is, he was one of the best footballers of his generation, and he's really good assistant. If you look at his stats, man management 17. Every time you ask him for advice, he always gives you positive advice, and yeah, he's really good guy to have. So yeah, I'll show you the fixtures. Now, I'm not sure how long this has been going, this video, but I imagine it's been going quite a long time. But yeah, what I'll do now is I'll show you the fixtures, just the pre-season. I'll show you the sort of I'll show you the fixtures, then I'll show you the squad. I'm not going to show you the goals because it's just a pre-season, but I'll kind of quickly run you through it. The first game was just against the reserve, just a bit of a run out. We won 3-0, which was, you know, more than expected. The next game was against Carlisle, 1-0. You know, it was quite an easy away victory, just pre-season, getting the legs all fresh. The next one was against, I think it's a Mexican team, and won 2-0. I won all of the pre-season games, which I was more than happy with. I didn't really hammer anyone, which is slightly disappointing, but I won quite comfortably in all the games. Beat Palace 2-0. More than happy with that. Beat Motherwell 1-0, but I'll actually show you the details because it was the last minute Marvel goal. I think it was the 94th minute there. 94th minute, but if you look at the stats, they didn't have a shot on target all game, so you could say I deserved to win. And the next game was against Leicester City. Beat them 3-0. It was more than easy, you know, it was a good result. And then I beat Gateshead 2-1, which was, you know, a bit of a not the greatest result, but a win is a win. Then I beat Roma 2-0, which I was more than pleased with. I'll show you that one because I noticed all my games are like pretty much easy in pre-season apart from the Roma game. So I hope that my players are, you know, strong enough for the season. And there's the sort of details. Absolutely dominated. 57% possession and 6 shots on target to their none. Absolutely, you know, just demolished them really. So there's sort of the fixtures for the season. What I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like monthly reviews because I was going to do game by game live comments, but I've decided it's probably just easier to do monthly reviews. So what I'll do is I'm going to play the game Swansea, Chelsea. I'll probably do 4 or 5 games at a time. I'll see how it goes. So I'll probably do 4 or 5 games and I'll have a video. I might not have a video out tomorrow because I've got I'm working dead early, then I've got cricket all day. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I might have one out. You never know. But yeah, guys, I'll quickly show you the squad as well because there's the captain of the team, Colaccini, Stephen Taylor's vice captain. But yeah, I'll show you the squad. This is kind of the tactics. The sort of the lineup I'm sort of going to be using. I'm going to be using like a 4-5-1. That's kind of the formation what I'm sort of going to trying to use basically. So yeah, and this is the sort of the starting 11. What I'm going to be doing is I'm probably going to play Hatton Ben Arfa instead of Dyer, but I'll sort of run you for the team. We've got Tim Krul in goal. I think they're all on international duty. That's why they're like sort of like not invisible, but you know what I mean. Tim Krul in goal, and I've got the young Croatian right back, Vertonghen centre half with Colaccini, Davide Sant on left back, who's got really good stats. I really recommend signing him. Toyota defensive midfield. I've got Kabay in a playmaking role, and then I've got Dan Gosling there just for the moment. I really wanted Sigurdsson, but obviously I'll have to wait a season for him. That's the kind of position which is going to be a little bit sort of interesting. I'm going to have to rotate a couple of players, and it's going to be slightly annoying, but yeah. And then on the left, in an inside forward role, we've got Nene, who was going to be a big player for me. And then on the right, we're going to have Ben Arthur, but currently we'll have Nathan Dyer, who's going to fill in. And then up front, we've got a combination of Bar or Cisse. Bar's got better stats, but Cisse's been scoring more goals. So, but what I'll occasionally do is if Nene's, because he's getting on a bit, he might lose a bit of fitness, I'll put Bar on the left and put Cisse up front. And yeah, that's sort of the squad what I'm running with. And I hope this video, you sort of like this video and stuff, guys. And I think that's pretty much everything I was going to show you. There's nothing else, you know. There might have been something, but I probably forgot. I've shown you the fixtures, you know, the ones coming up. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. And that's probably pretty much about it. Yeah, guys, so